It's in a Hackney appeal, George Gebara, holder of a Cambridge Hackney license number 27149, due to the decision of the executive director upholding the fine issued by Hackney officer Benny Zito for failing to take a credit card.
Good evening.
Good evening.
If you could please state your names for the record, spelling your first name and last name, please.
Benny Zito, the Cambridge Hackney officer, B-E-N-N-Y-S-Z-E-T-O.
My name is George Gebara, G-E-O-R-G-E, G-E-B-A-R-A. Taxi driver, checker cab.
Mr. Zito, can you tell us about the offense, please?
On Monday, April 13th, I got a complaint by email stating that on April 10th around 4:30 p.m. The complainant got in a cab number 77 at the Cambridge Marriott, operated by George Gebara. He got in the cab. He told the driver he was going to the DoubleTree on Soldier Fields Road. Then the driver asked him how he was going to pay, and the complainant said by credit card. And then the driver told the complainant that he left the credit card machine at home and that he needed to take the next cab in line. So when I started my investigation, I talked to Wally, the owner of Checkered Cab, and asked about George Gebara's way bill for that day. He looked it up, and as far as he can tell, that it was all cash transaction, and it was also not filled properly. They didn't list any of the jobs. So as far as he can tell, on that day, he didn't have any credit card transaction. It was all cash. Based on that, I gave him a $50 fine for failure to accept credit card, and also failure to complete a proper way bill.
I have part two.
Okay, I just have one question. Is the credit card machine for that particular cab built into the back of the cab?
No, it's portable.
Portable?
Yes. According to Wally, every time they sign up for a cab, I believe they give them the machine.
This one?
So, Mr. Gebara appealed the issuance of the fine. We had an appeal hearing on May 1st, 2015. Officer Zito recited the facts that he just stated. And he also stated that Wally Nakul also supplies the credit card machines for the drive, to the credit card readers for the drivers. So when I questioned Mr. Gebara what happened on that date, he told me that he left the credit card machine in his personal car when he switched vehicles. And he also told me that from time to time the machines don't work, so you have to call the dispatcher to have them run the numbers through for you. So we asked him if he called the dispatcher on this occasion when the passenger said they wanted to use a credit card, and he said no. He admitted he didn't have the way bill properly filled out. We pointed out to him that he could have been issued a fine for that as well. We explained that as of April 1st, it was mandatory to take credit cards at all times, and based on the fact that he gave very conflicting stories and had no way bill to verify any transactions on that date, and what Wally also indicated, that I upheld the fine for failure to take a credit card on that date.
And what was the amount of the fine?
$50.
Do you have anything you would like to add, sir?
Yes. I do credit card all the time. On that particular day, I didn't have my credit card because I left it. As I dropped in my suitcase, I just fell down. And those credit cards that we have, they are no good at all whatsoever. Always need to be charged. We don't have a charger in there. We don't have nothing. I left it as if I'm gonna go charge it because the battery goes dead on there. They're supposed to have installation credit card in the taxi in order for me to do a taxi, because all the time I'm having trouble with my credit. And I told the guy, and this is it. I just couldn't do the credit. But I have proof that I do credit, and I even, as a matter of fact, last night I did credit. It says minimum charge $10. I did it for $8. And this is the first time ever happened. But those credit machines are no good, the ones they supply us with. And they don't even have a charger to charge them up. You do 1, 2, 3 credit cards and they go down.
Are you able to charge it in the car?
No. No charger at all, no wire at all whatsoever. So I feel I'm not responsible for this issue because I don't own the company.
So you on a radio service, sir?
I am, but I'm on radio service, but the dispatcher don't deal with me. He doesn't want to deal with me. It's been almost a year. He doesn't want to even talk to me.
And who's the dispatcher's checking?
His name is Jason. And not only that, one Friday he gave me like 3 no-goes back to back. We go to the job. I start the job 4 o'clock. It's 5:30. I make 0, 0, 0 a month. And you know how the taxi business right now comparing to Uber, I'm not even making $50 a day.
So do you actually have a radio in the car, or are you phoning in?
Yes, but I'm not allowed to call.
So there's no
He
radio
hang
transaction?
up on me. If I call, he hang up. He doesn't
But you
even
call him on
answer.
the phone, or do you call him on a radio?
Yes, sometimes both.
Both? Did you make any call to him that your credit
No,
card machine was not working?
I didn't, sir, because I was ready to go back to the office. Because I
But in
don't
this
want to
case,
deal
it
with the
wasn't
guy.
that your machine wasn't working, you said that you didn't have the machine with you.
No, that time, no. I didn't have it, I dropped it.
And why wasn't your way bill filled out?
I have some kind of sickness in the family, and it's just, I was off that day. My mind was completely gone.
So you understand it's a requirement that number 1, the way bill has to be filled out, and number 2, it is mandatory that you accept credit cards.
Of course.
So if you recognize that you left your machine, you should have gone back to go get it, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I was top at the stand and they're just waiting for one job to go and come and get it. Or, yeah, another
What
one
time do
to
you
go.
start your shift, Mr. Gebara?
I start my shift at 4 o'clock.
What time was the violation?
4:30.
And where do you pick the car up?
103 Focusing, Cambridge.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Can you repeat?
103 Focusing.
103?
Fulkerson.
Fulkerson, thank you.
And where, if you left the machine in your personal car, was your personal car parked by Fulkerson?
By Charles Street or Bench Street. But sometimes I'm focusing too, but I could find a parking space.
So your car was parked essentially 5 minutes from where you picked up the fare?
Yeah.
No questions.
Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard in this? Seeing none, I make a motion that we uphold the discipline of the fine of $50. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The fine stands as is, sir.